Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my little cottage by the sea, the place where I like to stitch and craft my way to a vintage inspired lifestyle. It's now 2023 and I really do need to give my sewing room a much overdue tidy up. So in today's video I'm just going to be pootling about, tidying up, organising and sharing my thoughts on 2022, not my favourite year, and what's in store for 2023, which I am sure is going to be an epic year in one way or another. As I'm tidying up and organising my sewing room, I'm just going to be reflecting on some of my favourite makes of the year and highlights, only very briefly, and then just to natter about what I've got planned for 2023. And for those of you who are new here and it's your first time visiting me in my little cottage by the sea, you're very welcome. And if you enjoy this video today, which is probably going to be a bit rambly and a bit disorganised, but if you do enjoy it, then it would be absolutely amazeballs if you subscribe or like or share and do all that good stuff. It really helps me grow my channel, grow this lovely community of like-minded spirits that come and hang out with me here in Hastings on the south coast of England. So I was making this dress based off of the Bella tea dress, and I filmed a whole video actually, which I didn't edit, about pattern drafting a dagger collar, and I was going to do a Wednesday Addams inspired thing, but I don't like this, so I'm going to take this off and just do the little Peter Pan collar. And yeah, note to self when I'm moving forward with content is just to do things that I know are within my sort of aesthetic. It's really easy to get overexcited and do things that you are they're not really you. Although they are sort of you, because obviously loved Wednesday Addams. But how pretty is this fabric? It's from Missy Mop. So I'm going to put the little cuffs on that, redo the collar, and I've got a lovely dress to wear for the rest of winter. Oh. There you are. This dress, which I imaginatively called the cobweb dress because it's got this cobweb cutout section, was a Patreon project for I think September, but absolutely love this dress. It's one of my favourite makes of the year. The fabric was from Rainbow Fabrics Kilburn a very long time ago. And yeah, really happy with this because one of the things that I've done on Patreon and Tara School of Dressmaking is I've taken you through how to draft your own bespoke blocks. So I've done a bodice block, and then I've shown my lovely patrons who are so beautiful. I should probably put that down, we don't need that. How to then do a dolman sleeve block or like a grown on sleeve block, so you end up with all these blocks that you can then use to create dream garments. But I really love this. I do love a cobweb. Cobwebs aren't just for October, you know, they're for life. One of my favourite things actually that I have is my little sewing box that is a Liberty London one, but it all gets very messy, so must sort it out. So I released quite a few patterns, or it felt like there were quite a few patterns, I have to write everything down. So the Sinead Ballet Wrap knitting pattern, and then the Elsa hood at the end of the year, which absolutely love that one. And I'll insert pictures and I'll link everything below should you be at all interested. Sewing pattern wise, got everything PDF'd and set up an Etsy shop, and released the Marlena beret, which absolutely love that one. It's really hard to do and talk, concentrate. So thank you for bearing with me. So that felt like a real win from last year, and what was so lovely was seeing everybody, the people who bought the pattern. It always means so much to me that people do and they like what I do. And then I'm so excited to see the sort of their makes, the things that they've made. A couple of people have posted pictures on the old gram of Elsa hoods that they've knitted, and they just look fabulous. I'm just so excited, and there will be lots more knitting next year. I will be doing regular knitting videos because knitting has become the thing that I'm just obsessed with, because I've got so much to learn. Not that I don't have a lot to learn with sewing, because even though I've been sewing since I was 6, you know, it's a journey, and it, you know, you're on it. You're on that journey till you take your last breath, and that's what I really love about sewing and just creativity in general. There's always like more things to discover, more things to find out, more, you know, fun to be had. So yeah, so there's a whole schedule for patterns and both sewing and knitting for next year. Some of them will just be Patreon exclusive things, and then some of them will just be, you know, PDFs. So I'm not doing any paper patterns for the foreseeable, just because of the expense and the logistics. So all of that is to come, and I will of course be sharing all of that here, and if you are interested in that, then it will be lovely to have you here. I've got so many buttons in this box, and this is not the button box, you know, people. This is not where they belong, but I will show you a little. I'm not really a gadget person, but I refound my special scissors. Look, they're great. I used to use these, so they're like curved so that you can cut and your fabric is protected. I used to use these a lot when I was doing lingerie. This is like Mary Poppins bag. It just goes on and on and on. What I've done this year, speaking of lingerie, is I have organised my making, the things that I want to make the sort of the whole year, and I've divided it into projects. So there's like an overarching project for the year. There's a few of them, and they're sort of scheduled in, blocked in, and then within those projects, that's going to determine what I'm making. I don't know if I'm making any sense to you. So basically, one of my projects is Project Lingerie, because I really am in need of some new spangly undercrackers, etc., and some bosom scaffolding. So yeah, I'm going to be making some lingerie, and those will be YouTube videos, and hopefully they will be of interest, all vintage inspired, of course. And I'm going to be replicating some vintage things and just creating some pieces for my vintage inspired handmade wardrobe. No, there's like more and more and more. I felt like this was going to take me just a few hours today, but actually I'm going to be, look, going to be here forever. I always keep these Liberty London bags when I order anything online, or when I'm actually there in that big old London town, because they make really, really good project bags, like sewing project bags. They're filled with nonsense at the moment, so I'm going to sort them out. But you can pop all the bits in there and have it kind of sitting there all nicely contained in these beautiful bags. Two other favourite makes is this one. This is another Patreon project, and it's named the Lucrezia Gilet. It's padded or lined. It's got calico in there, and this is trapunto, so Italian quilting, and I take you through the pattern cutting of it, and the how to do the trapunto, and the motif is there to download, and you basically wear it over. It's quite good because you can wear it over things like this, which is another favourite make, which is just a vampire's wife style dress in a faux Liberty print, which I made to wear to a friend's wedding. And I think this is one of my most worn dresses, even though it's quite a summery print, I suppose, but it's great because you can wear your thermals underneath. And it has been so cold in England, like unusually cold, and my cottage is cold anyway because it's a stone cottage, very drafty windows and so on. And yeah, and you can just like layer up underneath and keep nice and warm, and then wear your gilet as well. And if you wanted to put like more kind of insulated lining in it, you absolutely could, and then you'd be snug as a bug in a cottage. Another highlight from last year, and actually really of my life, was going to Paris and going to the Schiaparelli exhibition. I got to see this dress, one of my favourites amongst many, many others. So I have been working on Schiaparelli projects for Patreon, and I will just show you this. Bear with. So this is another of the projects. It's a blouse. The original's in the Met Museum. This wasn't at the exhibition. And the project, Schiaparelli project, was to do the embellishment for this, and it's a 1930s evening blouse, and it's got a zip that actually zips downwards. So I've got to photograph that at some point. I haven't done that yet, and I'm sure you will see it at some point. And so I'm going to continue the Schiaparelli project moving forward into 2023, because when I did a wardrobe audit, which I do quite regularly, I do think about clothes a lot, you know. It may not be the most healthy thing, but one of the things I noticed is that I haven't got jackets. I haven't got like nice jackets to wear with outfits. So my Schiaparelli project, which is going to carry on all through the year, and I've got some things that I want to do later in the year, seasonally appropriate things, but I'm gonna do some pattern cutting, some sort of tailoring based off of Schiaparelli's tailoring. So that's on the list for 2023, and I will be sharing that on YouTube, I should imagine, but that's probably more sort of September time. So here on YouTube over the next year, I'll be sharing my makes, obviously, as always, because I love to do that and share my sewing adventures with you. And I'm aiming to do 2 really good videos a month and build up to more a month, probably just drop in things as and when, just so that I can get this sort of balance going across the year. I've got a lot of products that I'm developing for TDA, Tara Deighton Atelier, and then also Tara's School of Dressmaking Patreon. There's loads of amazing stuff happening over there. And obviously I love hanging out with you, or have you hang out with me in my cottage by the sea. So I'm going to be doing 2 videos aiming for a month, and then if I do more, I do more. So I hope that's going to be all right with you. But you'll be getting sort of the better version of me, and I'm thinking if I pace myself, I will just be able to, you know, not keel over, which would be good. Like, this is all my patchwork. I go through mad moments where I'm like, yeah, patchwork, and then I get bored. But I had this mad idea, and maybe you can tell me whether you think it's mad or not. I've got so many scraps of Liberty and other beautiful fabrics, and for me, fabric is a very precious thing, and sort of I have lots of lovely memories because a lot of this has been made into things, and I've done quite a lot of this. This was actually going to be, let me grab it and show you. Look, this was actually going to be a bed cover. And there's quite a lot of it, but I had this like, oh, dismount. I had this mad idea that instead of doing a bedspread, I do enough to complete the panels for a circle skirt and make a circle skirt out of all this patchwork, because that actually is one of my main sort of things that I want to do, is to kind of deal with all the scraps and bits and pieces and put everything, or as many things as possible, to good use. Is that an absolutely bonkers idea? Let me know down in the comments below. But it's so beautiful. It's like a skirt that I saw, if you've ever seen Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, which I know some people feel is a problematic film. I do tend to agree with you. But she wears this really amazing patchwork skirt in it, and I've always wanted one. And actually there's not a massive amount, I mean there is, but there isn't, less than a actual king size bedspread quilt though. Yeah, so let me know what you think. Yay or nay to a patchwork full circle skirt? I'm kind of loving the idea, you know. And just to help you, I thought, look, see? No, not that, but look, there's not, I'm wearing one of my favourite full circle skirts actually, but yeah, like, I'm feeling it, you know. Oh, yeah. I don't often buy patterns these days, but I did buy a couple in the recent Butterick sale, and I got this one here. I really like this dress here, and then I got this as well, a sort of a 1950s, but sort of very early 50s, very late 40s really, sundress. So I'm going to be doing something with that in the summer, and this is one that I'm going to make soon. So I have basically just this sort of, it's a very, very dark black green, and just it's a like a cotton sateen, viscose cotton sateen, something like that. I've got quite a lot of it actually. So I'm going to make this version, but what I wanted to try and do is, I've got this just vintage offcut that I found in a charity shop with all this like pretty embroidery and a scalloped edge. Don't know if you can see that so well, but I just thought if I can somehow utilise that to do the collar, this collar with this on this black, and then maybe have a little bow there. I do a Hildy bow, which actually I'm PDFing so that it's available as a pattern. I make these bows, which I call the Hildy bow, based off of the character in His Girl Friday, My Girl Friday, Rosalind Russell, who's rather fab, and Cary Grant. And yeah, that would be nice. You've got this decorative collar and this sort of structured dress, and then a nice bow. So that's a project that I'm going to be sewing, and I will share with you in the very near future. I've tidied off the side, and actually I think I need to paint this top, paint it all white so everything's nice and clean in here, but everything's put away, and the floor is nearly clear. Just got my spare paper, pattern cutting paper to sort out. My patchwork basket's all organised and ready. And then coming up here, I've just had a little shufty round of the shelf, but all patterns are away, everything's organised. That pile of fabrics just there needs to be sorted out, but they're all things that I'm about to make or want to make imminently. The ribbon box still needs to be sorted out. You know, it's slow steps, isn't it? It's little and often, as my old headmaster used to say. Got my fat quarters basket there. I actually would really like to get some more of those sorts of baskets, but I bought that so many years ago. Don't know if I'd be able to find it again. My squeaky coat is there, ready to finish, and the rails all organised, and my fabric stash is behind that. I do still need to tackle that, but you know, that is a rather mammoth task. And I'm hoping that I make loads of stuff through the year. Look, we'll have like a little sneaky peek behind there. But I'm gonna really crack on and get stuff made, and I've got like the whole year organised, so we'll see how that works out. So yeah, looking forward to wearing that coat. Probably finish it just in time for summer. Look, I found tassels, so I'm going to have a tassel hanger to put all lovely tassels on and just play with, possibly use, obviously going to use, but how fun is that? I thoroughly recommend a tassel hanger if you have a studio sewing room or just in your house. It's a joyful thing. I hope you've enjoyed this little disorganised, crazy catch-up New Year reflective organising my sewing room vlog. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're keeping safe and well, and that you too can find a level of balance in your life. I shall see you very soon, my lovelies. Bye.